Because I bet you there's someone out there who finds you just irresistible to look at. It's part of personal styling too. We complain that, oh, everybody looks alike. When you go on social media, when you go on the internet, everyone looks the same. Personal style is dead. And to some degree, that is true. It is dead, but why is it? Somebody comes out looking like this, and then you're like, oh, she needs to comb her hair, or oh, she needs to like get a wig, or oh, she needs to braid her hair down. And it's like, which one is it? It's giving very confused. Well, welcome back to my channel. My name's Martine, and I'm a licensed hairstylist and makeup artist that actually cares about your hair and skin. So I know we all been hearing about in YouTube pushing small influencers, and small influencers getting monetized within 30 days. And why not jump on that bandwagon? Because we want to see more people like us. We're craving community, and you can help like your fellow mate. But besides all that, I also want my page to be known to be centered around being the best authentic self that you can be. So also join me on my 30-day challenge in being the best authentic you. What does that entail? Because let's be real, being authentic these days is really hard to find, and a lot of us are like faking the funk, whether it's making sure we have the 30-inch bust down, whether it's making sure our makeup is like tea, outfit on par. But when you dress all of that up and you feed into that narrative, exactly what is it that you're left with? At the end of the day, when it all comes off, you still got to face you in the mirror. And that is what I want you to face. You need to face the person that you're actually looking into the mirror with, because at the end of the day, it's you and her. It's nobody else. You can't fake the funk with yourself. So from a beauty standpoint, because I am in the beauty industry, so I get to see this in real deal every day. And it doesn't matter the race, black, white, Asian, we're all dealing with the same thing. We look at these celebrities, we look at what's trending, we look at these influencers, and we're like, oh, I gotta strive to be like them. I want to look like them. I want to be like them. And I'm not saying you shouldn't look at someone and admire and want to elevate yourself into a status of being better than who you were before, but some of y'all are taking it to like the next level. Some of you guys, I can say like everyone has had their point in time in life. No one's better than the next. You chase these celebrity lifestyles and think once I get there, or if I ever get there, that's it, that's the epitome of success, that's what I gotta look like. And when doing that, you're losing your spark. You're losing what makes you you. You can be the change in somebody else's life. You could be the change in one person's life, and so many people's lives, but you're too busy trying to conform and be like someone else when your authentic you is enough. Even for myself, for example, and a lot of us, and I was speaking this on my last YouTube, we get caught up, and I see it every day again in the beauty industry. I am not saying that you can't wear extensions, you can't wear your braids, you can't, put a wig on whenever you feel like it. But when you become lenient on something like that, instead of it aiding you, instead of it, helping you out, making things a little easier, it becomes a cripple. It becomes a crutch that you need to have because you feel inferior without it. So again, I've always been the type to change up my hairstyles, whether it's bleach, cut, shave, relax, natural, it doesn't matter, because I don't let my hair define me. And sometimes we get stuck in a rut. I'm not above it. And within like the last 2 years, I decided my hair was really short and bleached. Loved it. But I decided I felt like growing out my hair. So what did I do? I just relied on putting braided extensions, braid and weave, the longest knotless that you could possibly think of, faux locks, and they looked great, and I just got so used to putting on extensions, putting on weave, that I didn't even realize the toll it was taking on my natural hair, like my edges. And I've never had issues with growing my edges. You know, for some people it's hereditary. They have like finer hair around their perimeter. As we age, our hair gets finer around our perimeter. The more styling that we do, our perimeter gets finer. But you know, some people just have the gift of gab and they just have great density, and I was one of them. And I was realizing while I was looking at a video I was editing, and I was blow drying my hair, and I have it here in my videos on my video list on YouTube of, you know, how to take care of your natural hair. And I was just looking, I was like, and I even said it in a video, I was like, I realized that my hair in density and in the perimeter, my edges, they were getting very fine, and I just was not used to that. And I put two and two together, and I realized it was the weave. And I'm not the type to jump from one hairstylist to the next. You know, I'm very loyal, and I'm kind of tender-headed on top of that. So, you know, building a relationship with my braider, who's also my friend, she knows how I am, so she doesn't like grip too hard on my hair. But still, I like the length. I, at the shortest, for the most part, had my you know, knotless braids at waist length. Sometimes even longer. I even had a point where I had some faux locks that were like calf length, you know, just and I'll do it again. But realizing that doing all of that also, you know, deteriorated the health of my hair. That constant tension led to breakage, regardless of me, you know, shampooing my hair, having the knowledge of hair care. It made my hair finer. And when seeing that, the last time I wore my hair in weave, in braids, I think they were like bob length twist, was July of 2024, and I haven't looked back since. And in doing that, my hair has flourished. Like, I have just done like twist downs with my natural hair. I just did twist outs, and you know, I did twists with my natural hair, so nothing was like pulling on it, nothing was hanging on it. I wore my hair out in a fro like you see in my videos, and I just kept up with the regimen. I wash my hair every 1 to 2 weeks. I make sure, you know, I'm on and off. You know, 1 week I use bond builders, the next week I use something moisturizing, and I just keep it light. And my hair has been flourishing, and my hair in this state is my most authentic self. Who told you being your authentic self wasn't good enough? Who told you that wearing your hair out like this was like ugly? You know, it is so mind-boggling to me, because working in the industry that I'm working, there's literally people who are perming their hair just to get this texture. I work in a predominantly white establishment beauty salon, and when I wear my hair out like this, it just, they go crazy over it, like of how thick it is, of how, you know, long it is, the shrinkage. Now don't get me wrong, sometimes it's a little annoying, sometimes it's a little bit much, because I feel like, you know, certain things you should know, but that's another topic for another day. But anyways, it's like there's so much adoration for our hair, and yet within ourselves we tell ourselves that this doesn't look nice, this is not pretty. And this is how my hair grows out, without it being touched, without it being relaxed, without it being bleached. This is how it looks like. How is this not beautiful? How is this not pretty? Like, this is definitely something that we've been brainwashed to think. And it again, being your most authentic you shouldn't think that any parts of you is ugly, because I bet you there's someone out there who finds you just irresistible to look at. To put it in retrospect, it's part of personal styling too. We complain that, oh, everybody looks alike. When you go on social media, when you go on the internet, everyone looks the same. Personal style is dead. And to some degree, that is true. It is dead, but why is it? Somebody comes out looking like this, and then you're like, oh, she needs to comb her hair, or oh, she needs to like get a wig, or oh, she needs to braid her hair down. And it's like, which one is it? It's giving very confused. And I feel like there is a lot of confusion out there, because people are afraid of letting their own hair, letting their own skin, letting their own selves actually shine through. like we've made up this narrative, we made up this story that we have to look a certain way to be accepted. And if that's the story you want to run with, then of course when it all comes out, you're gonna look at yourself and you're gonna be like, oh, you're ugly. This who wants me? And it's your inner story. So if you're not letting yourself shine through, even with yourself, why do you expect somebody else to, tell you how gorgeous you are, tell you how pretty you are, tell you, like how different you are, when you're too busy looking like everybody else, trying to imitate the next person? It just doesn't make sense. And that's the trap. And that's the trap I see women and men, but again, I'm speaking from a woman's point of view, that we always fall into. And you need to break yourself from that, because until you do, you cannot be your authentic self. It's just going to be the lies that the voice in your head is stirring up. That's what you're going to feed into. Now, both truths can be true at the same time. Maybe you're not in a space where this is celebrated. I used to work in corporate. I get it. Sometimes they want a certain look to be taken seriously. Cool. But what I'm saying is outside of work, because it can't be work 24/7, 365, 366 on a leap year. There's going to come a time where you have to shed that off. There's going to come a time where it's just going to be you in the mirror, and you're going to be like, there has to be more than this, And I feel like once you can differentiate, the cosplay that you do and your authentic self, you can merge those two things and, live both truths like successfully. Like, I'm not here to say you're not gonna catch me wearing a wig. You're not gonna catch me wearing makeup. You're not gonna catch me, wearing braids ever again. This is just gonna be me 24/7. Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. Again, I love makeup. I love shopping. I love my hair. I love weave. Shoot, I'll buy a wig that looks like this. What I'm saying is, once you realize your authentic self, once you realize that glow, once you realize who you are, all of those other things are add-ons. You have it, and if you don't have it, it's okay. If you do have it, that's great. It's just not something you have to rely on. Like, I don't want you relying on those things. I want you to have those things because you want them, not because you need them. Because at the end of the day, when you neglect your authentic you, when you neglect yourself and you get consumed by the outer layer and how you want to be perceived by the outer world, because that's the way things are supposed to be, that's how things are supposed to look, you lose yourself. I'm 28 weeks pregnant. And what I appreciate about pregnancy so much is that while your main objective is your health comes first, because you're creating life, it's not all about you anymore. It's about you and the life that you're bringing in. You kind of realize certain things, like with your hormones, like maybe you become tender-headed to the point where you can't take all of that on your hair right now, or maybe your scalp is too sensitive to want to relax, want to bleach, want to highlight, or maybe your culture is like, you can't do any of those things. You have to be bare, you have to be natural, and that's how you have to look at it for the next 40 weeks. But what's so amazing about this part of this journey is that when all that sheds off, like, there's been time where I felt like absolute crap. Like, I just did not feel good, whether it was morning sickness, whether it was just, your hormones, the way things smelled. Like, it's just such a crazy roller coaster. But it's so funny how you can look and feel like complete like complete crap, and that's where people are like, there's a glow about you, there's just something emitting from you, something's just radiating from the inside, and you could just be like, you're full of crap. The birds are chirping because they received this. Like, anyways, you feel like complete crap, but you getting all these compliments, and it's because you're no longer listening to the world and trying to be on top of of how you're not trying to be aesthetically pleasing. You're not trying to be the center of attention, because you can't. Honestly, a lot of days I just want to fade into the background and just be like, don't worry about me. I'm talk about somebody else. But you just have this aura about you where people just cannot, like, people are just like obsessed with you, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't explain it. So my pregnant girlies, if you know, you know, but it's because it's the most authentic you that's spilling out. It's because that's what's radiating, and that's what people are seeing. And it's because you're no longer thinking about yourself in a selfish way. You're harboring life, like you're bringing life into this world. So this is the main focus. So you just worrying about looking the best you in your most natural state, and making sure you're most comfortable in your natural state. So maternity clothes wise, you know, making sure that you're just comfy but still, you know, looking nice. Hair wise, so for the majority part, I've been, like I said, keeping my regular hair twist out, or this, you know, sometimes I will throw on a wig, you know, but I make sure myself in my homeostasis state is what's taken care of first. That's what I've established a routine for, making sure I'm eating, you know, I'm not drinking, I'm not smoking, I'm not partying, I'm not doing anything that can harm the life that I'm carrying, because that's what's important. Me, my flesh, that's what's most important, because that will determine how my baby is going to come into this world. You know, making sure I'm on top of my vitamins, making sure I'm going to my doctor's appointment, like, and doing that, and making a routine. It's beautiful. That journey is beautiful, and that's what emits, and that's what radiates. And from there, you get another personal style. Like from there, you create a whole new person, not just figuratively, and literally. Also, it's two truths living at the same time. I don't want you to lose the focal point of yourself, because I know it's real easy to do in this world, and just think about other people and not think about yourself. Think about your kids and not just think about yourself. Think about how you're being perceived and not think about yourself. Like, it's so easy to do, but I want you to hone in on this message. I'm telling you, I want you to hone in on yourself. Like, discard the noises that you're hearing, the lies that you allowed yourself to intake. What is it that made you happy? Where in your life is your homeostasis? Where is it you feel you're most comfortable? In what state you feel you're most comfortable? And from there, thrive, because that's where your most authentic you is. When it all comes off, and you, it's just you looking at yourself in the mirror, I want you to be able to be like, this is me, we're in this together. And from there, that's where we're going to develop personal style. That's where we're going to develop, you know, what routine works best for you. And from there, it's only one way up. It's only one way up. So again, thank you so much for coming on into this talk, into this video of me just talking about how it may be hard finding, you know, who you are. Like, some of us are a little bit further, you know, away from our authentic self than others, but all we have is time. All we have is time. So join me on this 30-day challenge in finding your most authentic self. And, you know, and like, what do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So see you guys next time. Love you guys, and see you guys on the next video.